Today, we're confronting a tough but essential truth. Not all affection is born out of love. In today's complicated world of relationships, it's easy to confuse dependency or convenience with genuine affection. Often, what we perceive as love can turn out to be something else entirely. In this post, we'll dive into 8 clear signs that you might be in a relationship where you're being used rather than truly loved. As we break down these indicators, I'll share insights from both real-life experiences and Stoic philosophy, which teaches us to see our relationships clearly, without rose-colored glasses. So grab a seat, maybe a cup of coffee, and let's dive into this together. By the end, you'll have a better understanding of the dynamics at play in your relationships, and know how to ensure the love you give and receive is as sincere and mutual as it should be. Unrealistic expectations in relationships often sneak in quietly. At first, they might even seem flattering. Your partner might seem to want to share everything with you or depend on you for everything. But over time, this imbalance starts to show itself, creating a constant feeling of pressure. I once knew someone who found themselves shouldering almost every task in their relationship, everything from planning outings to managing small life details. Initially, they thought this was their way of contributing, but as the months went by, it became clear that their partner wasn't pulling their weight. They never stopped to ask, "Is this fair? How can I help carry the load?" From a Stoic perspective, this is a clear issue. The Stoics, like Epictetus, emphasized understanding what's within our control and what isn't. In a relationship, both partners should share the responsibility, whether emotional, logistical, or financial. One person carrying the entire load isn't just unfair, it's unsustainable. And it's not love, it's dependence dressed up as affection. For example, imagine a situation where one partner is expected to constantly provide emotional reassurance and support, without ever asking if the other has the energy to give. Over time, this leads to burnout and resentment because no one can pour from an empty cup. Stoic wisdom tells us that courage is required in situations like this. Confronting the imbalance in a relationship, kindly but firmly, is essential. A true partner will understand and want to share the load, not pile it on one person. Reflect on your own relationship. Are the expectations mutual and realistic? Or do you feel like you're carrying a burden alone? Love isn't about perfection or meeting impossible standards. It's about partnership, where both people support each other and bring their unique strengths to the table. Entitlement is another red flag that often shows up subtly in relationships. It starts with a feeling that one partner is owed something, time, energy, affection, simply by virtue of being there. This might look like confidence at first, but over time, it reveals itself as a demand for the partner's sacrifice, with little to no reciprocation. I once heard about a person who was expected to cater to their partner's every whim. Their partner's needs seemed to always come first, with no acknowledgement of the effort it took. This wasn't about mutual love or respect. It was about one person assuming they were entitled to everything, without ever giving back. From a Stoic standpoint, this is a clear violation of the principle of reciprocity. As Epictetus would remind us, we are not entitled to anything we haven't earned, including the time and energy of others. A healthy relationship is built on mutual respect, not on one person assuming they are owed something just for being present. Entitlement in relationships can manifest in different ways. It could be a partner who expects you to handle all the logistics of life without offering to pitch in. Or perhaps someone who feels that emotional, physical, or financial support is their right, without ever reciprocating. I remember someone telling me how their partner expected to be taken care of when they were sick or stressed, but would never return the favor when the other needed help. This constant expectation without reciprocity is exhausting and is a hallmark of entitlement. The Stoics advise us to approach these challenges with clarity and courage. Confronting entitlement isn't about blaming or shaming, but about opening a dialogue to create balance. It's also important to set boundaries, because sometimes the only way to protect your energy and well-being is to recognize when a relationship isn't serving you. Take a moment to reflect. Are your contributions in your relationship being reciprocated, or are they expected without acknowledgement? A healthy relationship isn't transactional, it's a partnership. If entitlement persists, it may be time to reassess whether the relationship is truly serving you. One of the most unsettling signs of a relationship where you're being used is when someone presents 2 drastically different versions of themselves, one for the public and one for when you're alone. This behavior is manipulative, confusing, and can lead to deep emotional turmoil. For example, I heard about someone whose partner was incredibly charming and affectionate in public. They'd hold hands, laugh at jokes, and make the other person feel special, all while friends and family admired their relationship. But when they were alone, this same person would turn cold, critical, and dismissive. This emotional whiplash left their partner feeling isolated and uncertain about what was real. This type of behavior isn't just frustrating, it's emotionally draining. It makes you wonder which version of them is the real one. It's a pattern of manipulation that plays with your emotions, making it hard to trust the relationship or know where you stand. The Stoics offer guidance here too. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of seeing people clearly, acknowledging them for who they truly are, not who they present themselves to be. If you find yourself in a relationship where someone shows you different faces depending on the audience, it's time to reflect. Are you being loved for who you truly are, or are you being used to fulfill a role or meet a need that isn't mutual? Remember, a healthy relationship is about mutual respect, shared responsibilities, and open communication. By recognizing these signs and applying Stoic principles, honesty, clarity, and self-reflection, you can make sure the love you give and receive is genuine, balanced, and truly fulfilling. If something feels off in your relationship, don't ignore it. Address it head on, with kindness and courage, and create a space where both you and your partner can thrive authentically. In relationships, it's crucial to maintain consistency in behavior, whether in private or in public. From a Stoic perspective, any behavior that shifts based on the audience reflects a lack of integrity. Marcus Aurelius often spoke about the importance of being true to oneself, emphasizing that character is not defined by the image we present to the world, but by the actions we take when no one is watching. When a partner shows a different side of themselves depending on who's around, it signals that they may be more invested in their image than in fostering genuine connection. This kind of behavior undermines trust, the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. Take, for example, a partner who lavishes praise and support in front of friends but turns cold or dismissive in private. This inconsistency can leave the other person feeling confused and invalidated, questioning whether they're truly valued or simply being used to maintain a facade. This dissonance often grows over time, leaving one partner unsure of their worth and the authenticity of the love they are receiving. Stoicism teaches us that actions speak louder than words. If someone behaves differently in private than in public, it's a clear sign that something is amiss. The Stoic approach encourages us to calmly assess the situation, reflect on whether the love and respect shown in public align with the treatment we receive privately, and then address the discrepancy. Confronting the issue with rationality and honesty is key. A healthy relationship is grounded in consistency, authenticity, and mutual respect, qualities that a person who genuinely cares will express at all times. Moreover, Stoic philosophy also values self-respect. You deserve a partner who treats you consistently with kindness and honor, regardless of whether others are watching. Integrity isn't just about being good in front of an audience. It's about the quiet, private actions that reveal a person's true character. If you feel that your partner's actions are inconsistent, it's essential to have an open conversation about how this affects you. If the behavior persists despite your efforts to communicate, it may be necessary to evaluate whether the relationship is truly serving your emotional well-being. One of the most telling signs of a one-sided relationship dynamic is when one person is consistently the giver. Perhaps you're the one who remembers special dates, makes plans, handles the responsibilities, and provides emotional support, while your partner doesn't reciprocate. This imbalance can feel draining, as if you are valued only for what you can provide, rather than for who you are. The Stoic mindset encourages self-reflection in these situations. Are you being seen as a whole person, or just as a resource to fulfill certain needs? Stoicism advocates for recognizing these imbalances with wisdom and courage. Recognizing the lack of reciprocity is the first step toward addressing it. It takes courage to have honest conversations about your needs, but doing so can help reset the relationship dynamics. Healthy relationships are not about keeping score, but about ensuring that both partners feel equally valued and invested. When one side of the relationship consistently gives more, it's time to reflect on what you truly need and whether the partnership is truly mutual. In relationships, it's important to remember that authenticity, consistency, and respect are not optional, they are essential. Stoicism teaches us to maintain our integrity, regardless of external pressures. When you face these challenges, remember that a relationship should lift you up, not drain you. Don't settle for less than what you deserve. Address the inconsistencies, seek mutual respect, and let go of the relationships that aren't nourishing your growth. Recognizing when a relationship is no longer fulfilling is vital to maintaining your self-worth and ensuring you're not being used rather than loved. One crucial sign of this is when your needs, desires, and worth are continually dismissed. A true partnership should be a space of mutual respect, where both people contribute to nurturing, supporting, and balancing each other's growth. If you find that your needs are sidelined while your partners are prioritized, it may be time to reassess the dynamics of your relationship. Avoiding difficult conversations is another glaring sign of being in a relationship that is unhealthy. At first, this might seem like just a discomfort or a small issue, but in reality, it reveals a lack of commitment to the growth and well-being of the relationship. Every relationship, much like any living system, requires care and honest communication, especially when confronting tough topics. Stoic philosophy teaches us that virtue and reason guide us, and by avoiding tough conversations, we not only hinder the resolution of problems, but we also block the relationship from developing a solid and resilient foundation. I've witnessed firsthand how avoidance can build resentment over time. One of my friends shared her experience of always being brushed off when discussing important issues. Her partner would use humor, change the subject, or even walk away, never addressing the heart of the matter. This type of behavior only serves to push unresolved issues deeper, preventing the relationship from reaching its full potential. Stoicism encourages us to face the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Addressing problems head-on allows both partners to grow together, rather than drifting further apart. Then, there's the issue of boundary violations. Every relationship requires personal space, but when one partner continually disrespects or ignores the other's need for autonomy, it shows a lack of regard for their individual well-being. Take, for example, a situation where one partner disregards the other's need for personal time, often interrupting moments of solitude for their own convenience. From a Stoic perspective, this is a breach of the principle of respect for the other's rational nature. Boundaries aren't just about physical space, they're about honoring one another's needs, thoughts, and emotions. When boundaries are repeatedly crossed, the very foundation of the relationship becomes compromised. Lastly, stagnation is a subtle yet powerful sign of a relationship in decline. Relationships, like everything else in life, require growth and forward momentum. If the excitement and energy that once existed fades, it can leave both partners feeling unsatisfied. When this happens, it's crucial to address it and reignite the passion and commitment that first brought you together. In Stoic thought, progress isn't just about happiness, it's about evolving in harmony with one another and with life's challenges. If you feel your relationship has plateaued, have an open conversation about your desires for the future, rediscover shared goals, or even redefine roles to bring fresh energy and direction. Recognizing these signs doesn't mean you're looking for faults, but rather fostering a relationship that nurtures both of you to become the best versions of yourselves. A truly loving partnership isn't about just surviving together. It's about thriving together, continually evolving, and strengthening your bond. Through honest reflection and thoughtful dialogue, you can build a relationship grounded in mutual respect, understanding, and love. A relationship that grows deeper with every challenge and every success.